Hi, today I will show you how to configure JavaFX library and how to add it to Gradle project. First step, you need to launch your IntelliJ Ultimate version. And after this, you should add two or more stuff inside your Gradle script. And I already have some prepared project for this task, but of course you're able to see later in video description. And basically what we need to do, we need two lines from here, and where you find those information. Basically in GitHub you will find a JavaFX Gradle plugin, because there is no other stuff added here, and you'll find the solution how to add that Gradle plugin here. Basically you're creating new project, and for example any type of project, like you picking the version, I recommend that you use minimum 11th, and here we for example picking zoo, and in zoo we picking the namespace flick.lt, our not duplicating the project, and when you creating the project you need to add those lines. We need to add plugin as application and JavaFX plugin. And down below, before dependencies, you need to add some stuff like JavaFX modules. And here fxml and etc. Because we're using fxml to loading XML file from designer, I will show which designer we're using. And we also needed to show main UI class. Main UI class will be, doesn't matter which name, we're able to pick the main. And now you need to click on load Gradle changes, just opening presentation mode, and when you're updating the Gradle script, it should work now like intended. In the main source, you need to add your main code. In testing purpose stuff. In Java catalog, you adding new class, which is able to find the JavaFX application template. You're creating main. And here you see the main application, but you need to add more code here for the stage. Where to find this? You're able to find in Oracle, like load fxml JavaFX, and you will find the Oracle documentation, and down here you will find that code to load XML files. And we copy this loading XML files from Oracle. Alt enter to include or import libraries, and here, as you see, we need to add some libraries, and stage, we need to change this name to stage. And now we need to add alt enter add method signature for IO exceptions, and we need some UI for zoo UI or zoo fxml, for example. And how to create this? You're able to create right click and create fxml file, but we do different way. We going to our first we need to download JavaFX scene builder, JavaFX scene builder, and you will find the Gluon HQ, because Oracle gives, or it makes as open source, that JavaFX, and Gluon company now take care of that stuff. You download the editor, and when you download your editor, you're able to find scene builder in Windows or in any other software operating system. Scene builder. when you're running, you're able to create your app from template. For example, complex application, doesn't matter which type of app. We have some UI, and we need to file save us to our zoo.fxml. Zoo.fxml, it's already added. Find the place where your project is stored, like Java projects, zoo, source, main, resources. Save. And when you're saving in your project will be added that zoo fxml. And here you will find the elements added from that UI. And if you would like to run it your program, you need to open View tool, Windows, and Gradle. In Gradle tool, you need to find application to run app. If you picking different build, you will get some errors, warnings, and etc. We running our UI as you see here. Now we have complex application, and yeah, is it working now? We connected our UI, but now we need some buttons or some components. I show you only the single one, for example, button. And we adding button here. And for button, you need to know on the left side you will find some components, containers, and other stuff UI. And on the right side you will find the properties field, layout, like you're able to edit constraints where this button should place it, and code, you're able to add events or action here. Events, actions, and etc. You'll find a lot of methods. And here able to add a button, for example, button. Same name for ID. And oh, sorry, I click it here. For that ID, you will get some ability to add some click button event, for example. If you're not picking from here, you have an ID. If you're making action, you're able to make, for example, click action, and you automatically generate method for click action. Or you're able to pick for property control that ID, like button. You're able to preview your UI, and you're able to view, show sample controller skeleton. To see the controller class which controls your UI, you just copy this class and just create a new package in your project, like controller, and pasting here. And when you're pasting here the controller, you need, of course, to rename it. I rename it, for example, zoo controller. Understandable, and you need to import JavaFX event. Oh, sorry, JavaFX, not AVT. That's different events. And here we get x1, x2, and other properties. And how to connect? You need to go to zoo.fxml file, and that root element you need to add fx controller and controller.zooController. That's it, you connected your code. And when you next time try to add some elements, we need to overwrite, sorry. Yeah. It's overridden here. So we need fx controller controller.zooController. Okay. Now it should work. And in the menu you see the zoo fxml, and you're able to change their size. For example, oh sorry, numlock. We need change size, for example, bigger screen size, 768. We running, and you see that our UI. When we're clicking, nothing happened here, because we need to implement functionality. For controller, there is other option to implement interface initializable, which is runs before the form is loading or your UI loading. Be able to make like button set style if you want. Set style and, for example, FX background like blue or lime, maybe blue, or just making a different color to not make too much dark. Okay. We're able to picking that set style. For example, when you're running app, you will see our button is blue at the moment. Yeah, and after this, you're able to initialize events. For example, button set on action. Basically, you're implementing the same event. For example, Java option pane, show message dialog null. Hello. We're running that app, and when you're clicking, you see hello message. If you already added click event, you're able to make it event here and making here changes. For example, when you're clicking, you changing color to that one. Because run is already added event, you don't need it to make it again. And as you see, yellow. And you're able to make it like random color, so it doesn't matter. Here, basically, you start writing your main logic, and you're able to get any components from your UI when you have some properties, not properties, but code, as you see here, have some IDs. And you need to create IDs or actions. Basically, you are ready to work with JavaFX and be able to make some apps. And if you have some questions, you're able to ask through that YouTube or Microsoft Teams or any other material. And basically here what you need to know to start working with this project, and I will add this to the video description for the template to work with JavaFX. Just need to run task from Gradle tool, or when you run once, you're able to run again using the run. This one doesn't matter. And as you see here, I'm running as a Java. You will get some problems because here it's running main as a Java language project. But when you're running the application, because using the plugin, JavaFX plugin, for that reason you need to run task, which is was a problem why we're not getting stuff and etc. Now we're able to toggle it. And how to make it works from the code perspective, you need to create controller. In our UI, we need to add some IDs to each component. For example, if you need to add Lithuania, UK, and other buttons, some stuff, you need to pick first this button, toggle button, and you need to add some ID. For example, here, pick country, LT, for example. You're able to add some already added events. Keep rest, for example, on mouse drag, and etc. Like, there is a lot of events. But if you need to make algorithms and write a code later, you just writing some IDs. pick country, pick country, UK for example. And you just adding size, like, I don't know, just size, or just writing letters, size S, size M, size L, careful, it's like is careful, variable, and terminal from, post, for example, post from, post from, terminal, terminal to, post to, terminal post to, and payout, pay, pay, print, straightforward, save, or export. Maybe we create export, PDF, no, just exporting, yeah, or PDF, for example, export PDF. And when you're creating those stuff, we need also that here it's label output, and we created all IDs. Of course, you will able to create the methods here, but instead of this, I will create my own methods for functions. And now when we have those IDs, and when we finish our UI, for example, it's like last form for us, we able to save it. I'll save it. And when you're saving, you're getting updated UI XML. But you need only other stuff to add it here. You need to add it controller. And how to make the controller? First, you need to hit the view button. And after this, you need to go to the show sample controller skeleton. And here, as you see, you get a lot of stuff added here. You just copy this code and create new class for your UI controller. Just creating UI control, UI controller, just like this. And here, just pasting this code from this stuff. And you need to rename it UI controller. And we get all those fields from our UI Steam Builder designer, just generated first. When you're updating, you need to automatically adding new fields also here. And when you're writing some code, you're not able to just copy and paste because you're deleting the code. And for that reason, you need to take care and to see how it looks like updated code and updated UI IDs. If you're updating, you need to update IDs also in UI controller class. And how to connect those view or UI with controller, you need to go to UI fxml, and to the top or root element, you need to add controller. And writing like fx controller equals UI controller. which is in package controller, controller.ui controller. And when you're adding this line, you connecting your Java code with XML code. And here, as you see, there is annotations, which is also say that here it's XML property. And if you delete one letter, it's not correct because it not exists in your XML file, and you will get some problems. I don't know. No, there is not methods, but all properties should be the same, because here checkbox is careful that property, and if you not have here, you should see that connection. If you correct with XML file name, it should show that icon here. Here is a problem if you decide to rename or something like this. And here we get a lot of properties here. One more stuff you need to know: in controller class, you're able to implement or use some interface which is initialized before your UI loading. Initializable. And this initializable have single method initialize. And basically here you're able to add any logic inside initialize method. Yeah, and for example, we need to make the toggle buttons, or we need to make some logic to write here, and we just running our program. First, we need to toggle some Lithuania or UK, and first we need to write a code. Like first step, code. We have Lithuania. I forget how it's named. Country or pick country. Okay. Pick country lt dot set selected okay pick control T set action or set on action. Here basically we use the lambda expressions. Instead of writing a lot of code, we just returning event pick country set on action, and we just writing the code what will happen when we print it, when we click this button. When you clicking this button, it automatically toggles this one, but it should untoggles another button or button group. For example, pick country UK set on toggle. Oh, set selected, or I'm not sure now. It's set selected false. And we try to run this code. Pick country set on action. Basically, when you clicking on this, you set selected false. Pick country. I'm not sure it's on toggle, but we just try it. And we have UK toggle, and you say we untoggle. But we know not untoggle on UK. Basically, we doing the same. Set on action, E, and basically if you're writing a single sentence, you don't need those brackets. Just pick country, LT, set selected false. I'm able to do same with this one, like this. Pick country set on action, pick country selected false, pick country LT selected false. And we running our app, Lithuania. As you see, we making toggle. Basically, we need to do the same task with our. If you have a lot of toggle buttons, you're able to create an array and adding those toggle button group and to make algorithm like, I don't know, we're able to create a list, for example, from toggle buttons. In our list, toggle button list equals new array list, for example. And in our toggle button list, we're able to, but maybe I'm not making this list. It will be too complex to understand later how it works. Basically, we have that function, which is when you're hitting this, you set selected false this. And now here is like functionality for pick country. And now we implementing just select country, select size. And now we're creating the size as size L, size S, sorry, on action or set on action. Event equals size S. We need to make it multiple choice. We say that size L set selected false, and we adding also another option, size M, and we just repeating the same stuff for all those. First, when I'm showing like this, later in the next lectures maybe I show optimized version when you don't need to repeat this false and that, like if you have a lot of properties, it's really hard to detect later or to fix the problems. Here, just for start, we make L and M, and for the L we making SM. And basically, I would like to implement the picking of that like toggle buttons, as you see here. Here, and we need, because as you see here, we toggle button that one, and it's both is toggled. And basically, you need to choose single choice. And we have 4 more toggle buttons. Deliver from, deliver to, and deliver from, I forget how to call it, terminal from, terminal to, okay, terminal from and post from, terminal from, set on action, and we should do post from, set selected false. And now we able to make it same with post from, set on action, and terminal from set selected false. And here is from, and here it's to. Basically, we do the same functionality. Terminal to post to post to terminal to. Basically, we making that functionality to make that toggles. Toggle, 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 toggle. Or just, sorry, that toggle. And of course, if we not have that arrays or lists, we're not able to get those all values, and now we need to pick it one by one for values, for example. And then we able to create some pay option. Basically, we're able to create separate function, void pay. And in our pay, we need to get those toggles. For example, how to get now those two toggles. It's not so easy now because we need to check both. Okay, we just making a total price. For example, double total with 0, and we just counting our total. If pick country LT is selected, we just total plus equals 150 euro, for example, or 0. Maybe in our country we paying 0. Else we paying total taxes, for example, 10 euro. Pick country LT, else we paying plus 10, because you should select something. If it's not LT, you by default taking as UK. The next step will be the size. Switch size, I'm not sure it's now. Okay, if size is L selected, total plus equals to 40, for example. Else if size M selected is selected, we total plus equals 1.80. And the last option will be else total plus equals 120. Okay, there is some options for paying. And now we need the delivery type from and to. If delivery, how it looks like, terminal. Terminal terminal from, we need uppercase, sorry. Terminal form is selected and terminal 2 is selected. We making our total price plus equals 2.50. For example, 2.50. Else if we making another option like terminal from is selected and post 2 is selected. We making like, or just cheaper, for example 180. And we also need other options, else if we terminal or post from is selected and post 2 is selected, it's total plus equals 100, for example. And else post from, maybe I'm making also else if post from is selected and terminal 2 selected. From post to terminal it costs from terminal to post cost 180, from post also 180, for example. The same backward compatibility. And we have our pay stuff here. And when we clicking the pay, we should create like our label. Void create label. And we just create label calling here, and we printing just label, for example Java Spain, show message dialog. This we printing some label created and plus our total, or we can't now, we need to pass int total, and we passing total here. It's double, sorry, double total. We passing the value from here, from payment, and we printing that total price. Label created, price, for example. Or just we're able to create on the same button to write the price and like pay. And yeah, now we running this program, and now we picking UK as terminal post pay. Oh, maybe it shows indifferent. No. Oh, we need to add a action to the pay button, and pay button is pay. Yeah. We just need to set action on click pay dot set action, set on action, and we just calling pay function. Pay set on action pay. Run, and we just getting those toggle options. Pay. Label created, we should pay 13.6000001. And here is a problem, we need to print it out total in different format. Or not string format, maybe string format. And string format function, it's similar in C language. We are able to add its output for total. Price, we're able to add it like dot to F or D, F maybe. Yeah, it's float. Dot to F, it shows two, maybe shows two numbers after that. Yeah, it shows two numbers after that, comma. Label created price is 40.20. Like how much you need to pay for this. You're just checking different. It's like 280. UK, you pay 12. Lithuania, it's cheapest way to send it. To third, 14, and etc. And able also to use the careful, and that's it. And maybe we need to update total price after each, or just print it here, some text. And we have our label, or text view, text area, label output. Yeah. And when we have some counting, we able to change that label and append some text, or just how it's better to make it here, because we able to hit, oh no, we just, when we paying, then we just creating label. Or maybe we need to update our pay button to set text. Okay, just pay set text, or append text if exists. No. Oh, we don't need append. Yeah, we need to show that some text. And basically on each selection you should show that total price, like pay, and you show price total plus euro, for example. And basically you need to add in each step. Yeah, basically we need to add everywhere where we changing our value. And as you see here, when I repeating a lot of time the same code, maybe we're able to create some function. But instead of this, I'm just showing now hard-coded text here. And now we just would like to see the difference when we pick in Lithuania. Why it's not setting text? Oh, it's setting text only after the pay. Sorry. Yeah, it's and string total. We need to also use string format here when we printing out. Okay, I'm adding here, and we need to make a lot of changes here. Okay, we're making here, and now we need to call pay function or just yeah, it's a bit strange approach now, but maybe it's okay. For example, how it works with that data. Yeah, we need to call this pay function because we need to update the text. And we need to call pay for the each button we pressed. And here it's a lot of changes we need to do here. If we need to see that interactive mode, like we need to call pay, and yeah, we need to make a lot of changes here. And here, oh, here it's easier, just calling the pay, oh, sorry, once here, and here we need to add it pay also here. Here we're using lambda expressions. It's really easier to writing the single line expressions instead of multi-line expressions. If I'm not using the lambda expressions, I will show you how it looks like your code to create some event, basic event. And oh, we don't need here, but yeah, we call it. If you're not using the lambda expression, basically the same function, post to set on action new event handler. You should create 4 lines for the same action without the lambda and repeat the method in each block of this, as you see here, single line expressions. Instead of this, they recommend to use the lambda expression, where you're calling only what you needed and you're making single line expression. And after making this, we should see some result here. Oh, sorry, label created. I need to remove this function here. Yeah, we just, as you see, we see interactive. Of course, we're able to make the different label to update this, but you're able to see that live how much it's cost. For example, updating to this, and yeah, instead of this, maybe we should create here price. I show you what we need to do here. we should call this function, but we should return maybe we should return later. Okay, when we hitting those and when we hitting pay. Yeah, there is wrong decision to make that pay button. It's to display this information. And basically, instead of this, we need to create some different stuff. But now what it is. And how to make that pay it work. When we calculating this, maybe we need to call the function. Of course, it's not also optimized if we call 10 times the same function. Yeah, basically here, pay, we need to create another button to pay that money if you need it. At the moment, we have that functionality and just making like this. We're able to print and export. Basically print, I'm just showing the text which we are printing, the text area, and when you have that print, label output, and we able to initializable here, go to the print label or label output. Or maybe we return here double pay and we returning total. We returning total price. When we making those selections, we just calculating this and returning total. And after this, we able to show our total. And like this, we creating some temporary temp equals total, or sorry, pay. Pay returns our total price, and we just have some price if we needed to pay it later. And for example, instead of pay, we just have different button like checkout and passing this total price. And now to print the label, we need to create a function to print this. And for printing, basically we need the same stuff, the same pay. But instead of pay, we just need to pick that functionality and print label. For today, I'm not fixing like the logic now. I'm just leaving the print functionality like we have like this void print. We just adding that print functionality, and instead place a text, we just should append label output. Append text, and we just need to change it, those lines. Here, sorry, here, 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 and here. And we just initialize our button print. Print set on action e, we calling print. We calling print function when we hitting print button. And we running our app again. And we picking here like Lithuania, for example, how much it costs. And instead of hitting pay, we hitting print. And you see here it's basically print how much you need to pay. And of course you're able to write a nicer format here. Instead of writing pay and something, we need that pay euros, and you're able to add a new line, for example, backslash new line, new line, new line, and backslash new line. Now we're not paying here. Here is LT, or sending from Lithuania, cost. Sending from UK, or from UK, from Lithuania, for example. And here size picked, size picked, yeah, and oh, we able to make it L. L, and we making here M and S. And we have more stuff here. And backslash N, backslash N, and backslash N. Okay, now we have that type of program. Terminal from terminal to terminal. And here from terminal to post. From from terminal from terminal post, from post to post. Okay, from post to post, and here from post to terminal. Just making some labels. We're running again our app, UK terminal post print. And as you see here, we got the price ending from UK cost 10 euros, size pick M 12 euros. It's total price, or yeah, it's wrong. We need to print not total price, but the 180. Or just price. We need to also create some constant here. 1.0, 1.80, and here 2.50. And here we need to print it 120, 180, 240, 10, 0. Oh, 0.0, and that's 0 because it's double. Yeah, and now it will be better because we need to show not the final price but print the label to show UK cost 10 euros, M size picked 180, from terminal post 180. And just, yeah, and just printing label, you're able to show some information and export, for example, to somewhere. The main idea for today just show how to connect the fxml file with Java Java controller or Java file, and how to work, like to use some bindings like some buttons, and just simple logic how to use it on click. And that's it. Later maybe we'll see more complex example.